what it means to miss New Orleans.
We were walking through the Ninth Ward, the lower Ninth Ward, I think, and there was a sign hanging on a telephone pole that said, "Not as seen on TV." I just think that's so true because you just don't see the destruction that's still here. And I think if people would see that, then there'll be so much more help down here.
When you really come down here and see it in person, you realize that the problems haven't even begun to be solved, and that there's so much destruction you can not really understand how they can just let it go forgotten.
The most upsetting thing that I think about going to New Orleans was knowing that once we left, that things weren't back to normal and that these people still needed a lot more help.
I was very surprised that it seems like after 10 months, there's not really anything that's been cleaned up. I've heard that only like 5% of what needs to be done is already done. And it just looks really bad. I mean, it's just it's like a war zone. Everything's destroyed, and it seems like nothing's getting done.
It's not about the houses that were destroyed. It's not about all the material loss. It's about how the people were emotionally affected by this great tragedy and how many people died and how do people, what they feel after what happened and how God has changed their lives.
It was just these houses, and there was absolutely nothing left except the foundation. There was just rubble, and their plates and stuff, their kitchen plates were still on the ground. It was ridiculous.
As we were walking and doing our prayer walk, we were just looking at all the destruction and all the devastation. I couldn't really take it in. It was so bad that you couldn't comprehend it all.
When we went to the Ninth Ward and everything, it was horrible. All the homes were completely destroyed, and it was a lot worse than I thought it would be.
I noticed that there was a hot tub on top of a car. The car was flattened, and I was just amazed at how much power the hurricane had.
Even if they just had 6 inches of water or whatever, it did so much damage because of the mold and everything.
In almost 10 months, we're looking and going, this is incredible, I can't believe the devastation. And then you're with some people that are going, no, this is looking better. We're making progress. You're finally seeing progress because you can drive down the road without running into a boat or a house.
The worst part was when we were gutting houses and we had to talk to some of the ladies and just listening to their stories and how sad they were. And they were sometimes even crying, and it made me depressed because I know I had it a lot better back home.
It's crazy that there's still that many houses still destroyed. Very few people still back here.
It was hard for me to grasp that because I've always been selfish about all my stuff that I have. Never really thought much about it. Because of this trip, it helped me to be grateful for everything that I have, because I have so much stuff in my house, and I could only imagine if a tornado ripped through my whole house, what I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have anything at all. These people here, they were so nice and generous to us, giving us water and stuff, going out to the stores, buying us drinks, buying us food, when they had nothing at all besides a trailer and a little bit of running water. I hope that more people will just be able to come down here and help out.
When you actually see it, it's devastating. And when you hear the actual stories from the people that actually went through it, and you see the emotion on their face, it's so hard to get over that it actually happened. And to think that the water level was actually over the houses, you can't just imagine that. It's hard.